Filmmakers, I have a challenge for you. Go away for the weekend, by yourself, with your partner, your family, and just record what you get up to, and then turn that into a movie. I've done this twice, and let me tell you, the results are two fantastic films. It's an exercise in writing, directing, and acting. This is what filmmaking's all about. People spend so much time and energy and money investing in their big debut project, sending films off to festivals, planning for when they get that $1 million budget to make their film. The reality is, however, the rest of the time, while you're waiting for that big moment, is wasted. Those days, hours, months, years are wasted waiting for that big opportunity when you could be taking every moment to learn new skills. So back to my challenge. Take a holiday. Spend $200 to book an Airbnb somewhere, or maybe you're already going on holiday, you've planned something already. Take your camera with you. These are opportunities for creativity. I'm going to take you through how I made my two films in this way, The Child in the Chapel and Reverberation. I knew I was going on a weekend away with my wife and, at the time, my 1-year-old son. I knew in advance I wanted to make a movie on the trip, so I kept that in mind when searching for the Airbnb. We found a small chapel that had been refurbished into a studio apartment, and immediately I knew this was going to be the location for the film. I had a bit of a brainstorm leading up to the holiday. I only had an outline, but I kept it realistic and achievable. A couple drive to stay in a refurbished chapel. I mean, this is literally what was about to happen, and it meant that I could capitalize on our trip without changing our plans too much. The wife finds a mysterious baby in the woods. Again, knowing we were going to be doing some bushwalking, this was going to work for us, and it was our central conflict of the film. And then supernatural stuff happens. Now, I didn't know how the film was going to end, but given the location, I knew I could dial up the creepiness factor. On the drive there, I wrote a little scene-by-scene breakdown, and it was on that drive that, bouncing ideas back and forth between my wife and I, we were able to develop the ideas a little bit further. The wife, when she finds the baby, wants to keep it. The husband doesn't want kids, he wants to call child protection, and the baby's haunted. We improvised the dialogue, developed a little backstory about it being her grandfather's church. He was involved in some controversial teachings as the local minister, and he's just passed away. Then after the first day of filming, we came up with a big twist. The grandfather was a part of a cult trying to bring around the second coming of Jesus. It all clicked into place, and we finished the film with a bang. The Child in the Chapel cost us nothing to make. We shot it while doing the activities we'd be doing otherwise, and I feel like I got to really tap into acting as we essentially embodied these characters on the holiday, and I could focus on nailing some really beautiful cinematography because we had no other distractions. Alright, fast forward 2 years. We're going on another holiday. Our family's a little bit bigger now, and I thought, hey, why don't we do this again? Now, there were two things I had to keep in mind for this second holiday trip. Firstly, I didn't want to take away from the fun we were having on the trip, so I had to come up with a plot that would have minimal disruptions to the rest of the holiday. And secondly, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a whole bunch of directing with the family that was there on the trip. So the idea for this film started with the twist. The father of a family is a ghost, but he doesn't realize it. This plot device meant that I could address the two barriers of the film. 1, the rest of my family could enjoy the holiday as usual, and 2, the only piece of direction I needed to give was, if I'm filming, ignore me. In the days before the holiday, I saw Memoria, a film about a woman who keeps hearing this eerie noise, and it takes her on a journey to discover its origin. Voila! This was going to be the central conflict. And again, on the drive there, I developed my plot. A father goes on holiday with his family. Doable? Yes. He hears a mysterious sound that no one else can hear. I hoped that this would keep up the intrigue until we get to the final twist, which was, the noise draws him into the woods and he realizes that he is a ghost. Brilliant! I decided in advance that the noise that he was hearing would be a horn, like a final call demanding that he return back to purgatory, almost like he'd wandered out and gotten lost and found his way back to his old life. There was one complication when we started, however. I couldn't run around during the holiday and leave my wife with 3 kids to manage. So my youngest son became a ghost too. Due to my limitations across these 2 films, my cinematography picked up a certain look. Technically, there wasn't anything marvelous about the shots. I used the rule of thirds. I made sure I wasn't losing any data in the bright or dark spots in each shot. Really, these films were very simple in terms of cinematography. And because of the nature of the holiday, I needed to be really opportunistic with the way I captured the film. They were both shot with a lot of wides, so I had the chance to capture the action, especially if there was unpredictable moments due to a lack of blocking. Now these films both also share a very particular style. I used a free film grain asset over the top of the footage, and I used slow digital zooms throughout to add a sense of unease. Also, and importantly, my intention was for the Airbnb for each film to become a character in and of itself. And I accomplished this through sound design and framing the locations prominently in the films. I think shooting with a lot of wides added to this because it allowed the audience to become familiar with the church and the cabin. I would challenge any filmmaker to make a movie on their next holiday, or go on a holiday to create an opportunity to make a film. These films also both serve as pretty strong sentimental pieces of art as they capture a period of time in my life. So go out and try something like this for yourself. And if you do, please send your film to me. I want to see what you end up creating. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.